Hello family, welcome back to my channel, Prosperous Living. And today's discussion is going to be on how the world is a magnified mirror of our consciousness. That everything we experience and we see is based on assumptions we have about life. And I got this understanding from Neville Goddard. He really expounds about this reality in a lot of his books and lectures that he taught, during his time of presenting this material as he experienced it. And once you test it and try it out for yourself, you come to realize that yes, it's true. This is how our world comes into being. It's based on our perceptions, our perspectives, our assumptions, our beliefs, our inner conversations, the way we see everything. That's what it is. And so it's not even so much, it's like when you plant a seed, and when the seed comes to grow, it's always more than that original seed that you planted, right? It's always either 30, 60, or 100 fold, as the Bible explains. That's how it is in this world. We plant a seed or a thought in our mind, and we allow it to take form and shape because we believe in its reality, and then it's projected onto the screen of space, and it comes back to us in the form of people, right? In the form of events or situations or circumstances, however you want to term it. Those things are something we're going to experience based on our preconceived notions, right? What we already accept as true about our world. So in order to experience different things in your reality, you have to change the way you see it, right? If you want wealth, you want financial stability, you want to have all the money that you can possibly spend in a lifetime, you cannot see shortages in your world. You cannot listen to what the media says about gas prices, food prices, and shortages. You cannot look at the world as any state of lack, because actually there's only abundance in the world. Actually, we live in an abundant universe. And the way you get to experience that, you have to take on that belief. You have to accept it as a reality for you. Now, it may not be true for other people that there is an abundance, there is an excess, that there's an overflow, that they always have more than enough. And the only reason they don't necessarily experience it is because they don't believe it's true for them. They have accepted what other people have said. They have taken on the beliefs of something they really don't want to experience. And they don't even know why they don't, believe it. They don't even know why they think the way they think. And it really is about conditioning. It really is because the world that we came into decided to focus on the lack of things, and some have used it to their benefit to control people or to manipulate. But then you have to remember, as Neville taught us, that there is no out there, right? There's only in here. Say, though it appears to be without, it is within. That everything you see is based on what you believe in here, right? What you believe. Like, this whole world is mental, it's psychological, it's all based on what you have accepted to be true for you, right? And of course, the law that you make for yourself, you're also making for others. Like, so if you say, well, I believe in abundance, I believe there's more than enough, I believe in an overflow and excess of all things, but then you can look out there and see, there's not enough food, there's a shortage over here, my friend is lacking over there. Well, so now there is a double-mindedness, because at first you said you believed in abundance, but then after you got through praying and meditating and contemplating on that belief, when you came out of it, when you opened your eyes and saw the third dimension, you decided, actually, that's not true, because I can see lack everywhere. And so the stronger of the two beliefs, because they are at odds with one another, you're saying, I'm fruitful, I'm abundance, I experience an overflow of in excess of everything. But then over here I see, oh my goodness, there's not enough gas, there are food shortages, they're saying that, it's not enough to go around, and you're accepting that belief, guess what you've done? You created a double-minded mind. You have decided that both can operate at the same time when that would be impossible. They cannot operate at the same time. The stronger of the two convictions is what you'll experience. So that's why we have to be careful and mindful of what we say inwardly, and then notice how we speak outwardly, right? Notice what our inner conversations, our deeper beliefs are. And see, that's the work. Changing your mind. Changing your mind is the work. We think the work is something we do, but the work is becoming who we say that we are. Imagining what it is like to have an abundance of things, right? So after you're done with your meditation and you have said within yourself and you've affirmed lovingly and feelingly that I'm abundant, I have an excess, it's overflowing with goodness, peace, harmony, love, joy, money, riches, wealth, health, prosperity, and all those good things. When you go out into the world, you also want to affirm that same belief. You don't want to then cancel it out by looking in the outward world and then deciding that it's something that you inwardly desire to believe. No, you want those things to match, because then once they match, then they manifest in your world. So whenever the outer world doesn't match your inner beliefs, that what you truly want to believe, you want to change it. You want to basically ignore the outer world and say, no, that isn't real. That isn't true. I don't believe anything they say. I can look and go into grocery stores and see an abundance of food. I can go and know and be thankful that, yes, I have the money to fill up my gas tank however many times I need to fill it up, and I'm not complaining. I'm thankful that the fact that I have the money to do what is necessary. I am grateful. I am giving praise for those things which are of good report. If there be any virtue, if there be any honesty, if there be any just things, I'm thinking on those things. I'm thinking that way. I'm not getting caught up in what's going on out there, because out there isn't real, especially if it doesn't line up with what's going on in here, what I have affirmed within. So remember, the outside world is just an outer reflection of what's going on with you. And if you are making the change and noticing that you want to live an abundant life, and say the 3D, the third dimension hasn't yet caught up to your fourth dimension self, which is your imagination, your human imagination, or your mind, or your consciousness, or your awareness, whatever you want to term it. If the outer has not caught up with the inner, then you ignore it. You pay no attention to it. You give it no mind. You don't say that what you see is greater than what you've seen, right? What you envisioned within your mind. You allow what you envision in your mind to supersede what you see with your eyes. Because what you see with your eyes, if it don't match with what you see in your mind, is lying to you. And you allow it to say, no, it's not true. I don't accept that reality. I accept the reality in which I've created in here. And I'm going to keep saying what I believe in here and not what I believe out there. Because see, we are to walk by what? Faith, and not by sight. See, the only time we agree with what we see, if it agrees with what we have said to be true of ourselves. And we continue to allow what we have determined, what we have chosen, what we have decided that we're going to experience, we do not falter, we do not doubt, we do not go back, we do not transgress. No, we do none of that. We stay faithful to the vision. That is very important, that we remain faithful to the vision. And remember that eventually the out there is going to match what's within here. Because out there now, like say right now, I have decided to see the abundant life, and out there it may be showing something contrary to that belief. Remember, that's old news. The third dimension has not caught up to my fourth dimensional belief that, we do live in space and time, even though we know time is an illusion. This is something we created within ourselves to experience. And we just have to have faith and trust that what we have determined in here, psychologically, what we have seen within our own mind's eye, what we have said in our inner conversations, that is the truth of our being. And that's the thing we have to stick to, and allow whatever going on out there, that it is catching up to what I have said, you have said within your mind, within your own being. So I really hope this that it makes a lot of sense to you all, that the inner world is the creator in man. The imagination, your own human imagination, your own mind, is what creates, especially, it's always been that way. And you'll notice it once you make a decision and stay with that decision, regardless of what the outer is saying. Because remember, the outer is old news. The outer is the way you thought yesterday. And so you decided today to think differently. Well, if you don't see an instant change, that's okay. You write the vision, and though it may tarry, though it may seem to delay or take time, you wait, because it shall come and not be late. It's always right on time. It always manifests at the time it is supposed to manifest. And so you don't get caught up on, well, it's been a week, I've been doing it for 2 weeks and nothing's happening. It took you how many ever years to believe it the way you've been believing. So give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. It's going to happen. You just got to trust. You cannot doubt. You cannot waver. You cannot go backward. You have to maintain that belief within you that what you said inwardly is going to show up outwardly. It is. Because the world is a magnified mirror of your inner thoughts, your mind, your imagination. Those things that you assume and accept as true, it will be true for you. You just got to keep the faith. Keep the faith. Don't ever give up. And so I hope you all enjoyed this discussion. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, allow this day to be great, and allow your inner conversations to transform your outer world.